My name's Daniel Johnson. I'm from Islamic Diversity Centre in Newcastle. I'm a Muslim and I'm horrified to see Islamophobia in particular, as well as other kinds of racism, rising in recent years. One cause of that is foolish people like Anjum Chowdhury and his cronies, and another is people like Tommy Robinson and his cronies. Do the panel think it would be a good idea to take Tommy Robinson and Anjum Chowdhury and put them on some kind of island and bomb it with anthrax?
OK, that's quite strongly put, but I think I get the idea. So, the English Defence League has been organising protests around the country in recent weeks. The first was here in the northeast. Police estimated that around 1,500 took part. Protesters were heard shouting, "Whose streets? Our streets." Tommy Robinson, leader of the EDL. You can assert until you're blue in the face that these are peaceful protests, but your supporters were heard shouting racist abuse. How do you explain that?
What racist abuse? You know,
I can't say it
we've just been talking
now
about
at this time on television.
We've been talking about racism. I'm from Luton Town. You're talking about racism, OK? There is no racial tensions in the town I come from. When David Cameron says multiculturalism has failed, Sikhism, Hinduism, Jews, they haven't failed to integrate into society. Islam has failed. When we talk against an ideology, if I'm against Scientology, are you going to call me a racist? I oppose the Islamist ideology. That does not make us racist. You can't talk about what we said that was racist, because there was nothing said that was racist at the demonstration.
But we've read the quotes in the press.
Yeah, in the press. When you talk about the press, you just said 1,500 people were there. There were 7,000 people there. So you've got a biased press that are misreporting.
So more people chanting?
More people chanting. More people at the demonstration. But what is the press's agenda to play that down? And then when we talk about Islamophobia, there is Islamophobia, of course there is. There is Islamophobia because our police force actually were too scared to tackle grooming and rape of our youth because of fear of being called a racist. That's Islamophobia, not the Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear, OK? It's quite rational to fear female genital mutilation of 2,000 British Muslim girls every year, terrorism like happened to Lee Rigby. Like 2 days ago, 6 Muslims who were sentenced to 19, 20 years each because they were planning to blow up the English Defence League. Due to the blasphemy law within the Quran. OK, there's a link to all these things. The same with the Muslim grooming gangs. As a common denominator, you have to look for what the issue is, what links them all. They're all Muslim.
I get confused when you say Islam, and then you say Islamist, and then you say Muslim, because they're different things.
They are. I'm from Luton Town.
I'm going to talk to...
Yeah, I'm from Luton Town. I know so many Muslims, yeah, and I'm sitting here. If you take these people's careers away and their money away, they won't be sitting there. I'm a volunteer, OK? There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. What has happened to me through having this opinion and speaking out the way I do, it's destroyed my life, it's destroyed my wife's life, it's destroyed my mother's life. I live with constant death threats. I've got some of them here if you want to read when we talk about a two-tier policing system. I have to wear a bulletproof vest. I've got people wanting to murder me and massacre me.
Well, then stop being a racist and a bigot.
Racist? Can you please explain one thing I've ever said?
I am a British citizen. I was born in this country, and I do not spout off rubbish like you do. Okay?
No, what am I saying that's rubbish?
I haven't got death threats. Do you know why? It's because I'm a nice person.
Please explain. If you talk against Islam, you'll have death threats. Please explain what I've said that's racist. Please explain.
What you've done is...
No, please explain what I've said that's racist.
I'll tell you what's racist.
No, she's called me a racist.
OK, well...
Please explain. Please explain.
Granny will pick it up.
So you're not going to explain.
What you've done is you've taken a community with, hundreds of thousands of members...
Billions of people.
And you've picked like a tiny minority, and you've said they're all like that. I think that's the slightly racist part.
What's racist? What race is Islam?
Against all Muslims.
No, I'm not against all Muslims.
Yes,
I got married last year. I had 4 Muslims at my wedding. I had 4 Muslims at my wedding.
I'm not racist. Admit your true colours.
Excuse me.
Akala?
You think that just because you want to call us racist or extremists or far right, what have I said that's racist?
I heard you on Radio 4 the other day saying that you are a peaceful movement, OK, and you are not against violence.
You still haven't explained what I said that was racist.
Have you actually looked at your own personal
You still haven't explained what I said about racism.
You've actually been convicted of thuggery,
what I've said
and you're a football
hooligan.
So how can you come on to Radio 4 and say
Please explain what I said. Please explain what I've said that's racist.
you stood at the Newcastle...
I've just said it. You've just cited loads of things relating to Islam and talking about Islamists.
So there's not a problem in this country. There's not a problem in this country.
Muslim people killed by white people.
There's not a problem in this country.
You know, you can spark
There's not a problem in this country.
Why are you focusing on certain incidents?
No, what you're doing is, rather than listening to the point, you just want to shout racist, which is what's happening in this country for 15, 20 years.
Because you are.
No, what have I said? What have I said that's racist?
Because you are.
Tommy,
you're so weak.
You are racist.
You've got nothing to back it up, darling.
That, do you?
Tommy, let Akala speak.
You're getting
what
really
have I said that's racist?
You are a racist.
What have I said that's
bigot.
racist?
You're a racist.
What have I said?
Akala?
And you do not represent the views of the people in this country at all.
All right, Sarah.
Nothing.
Akala?
You've got no substance to your argument. You're not even backing up. I have, yeah.
You've got low substance.
I have. What happened to Lee Rigby? What happened on 7/7? All the Muslim grooming gangs. Everything I say is factual.
Let someone else speak for a minute, please, Tommy.
Of course, Mr. Robinson, there are no paedophiles who are white, and white people have never bombed anyone else's country.
87% of grooming cases are Muslim, yet 5% of the country is Muslim.
You spoke. Yeah. Let me speak. Now, this is exactly the issue, is what I'm saying, right? As much as I agree with what's being said about this man and his organisation, right?
Can you back it up,
we focus on fringe bigots rather than dealing with the real central issue that we have a political system. I can't count how many times I've read the Daily Mail or some other paper, not that I read these rags, and it says, Pakistani man does blah. When Jimmy Savile is convicted or something comes out about him, is his ethnicity or his religious beliefs put forward as the primary reason for him committing an offence? No. But we stoke the flames of this kind of bigotry, right? And then act shocked when it comes out.
No one's prepared to explain what I've said that's bigotry or racist.
1 second. For those who don't know, Baghdad was the intellectual, cultural centre of mathematics and art and science about 1,000 years ago for quite a long time. No one blames Islam for that. So negative people who happen to be Muslim, yes, of course, it's your religion that causes it. But if you pioneer mathematics and science and introduce algebra into Europe and the guitar and coffees and lemons, that's not because you're Muslim.
Well, the people...
Okay. I'm going to get an opposing view from Dipper here for a minute. Dipper, you're a Newcastle councillor. You organised the counter-protest.
Yeah, Tommy, I've heard of double vision. I've never heard of triple vision before. There wasn't 7,000. There was about 1,500 EDL thugs in Newcastle on the 25th of May. Okay, no, you've had your no, you had 1,500. You've had your say. You've had your say. We had a peaceful protest, unlike you drunks. EDL drunks on the day we had a peaceful protest. We had 1,000. Tommy, you've said it, but we had 1,000 local people, but you had to get people shipped in. You had to get people shipped in from other places of the country, from the country to Newcastle demo and to have a party. But we had local people celebrating diversity, which we thrive on.
I celebrate diversity.
Sorry,
I celebrate. If you see
you celebrate diversity, you're the biggest fascist in this country.
I'm not fascist.
Yes, you are.
I'm not
you're
fascist
the biggest
because you say so.
You're an Islamophobe. You're an Islamophobe and you hate Muslims.
I don't hate Muslims.
And do you know what?
I don't hate Muslims.
Your EDL organisation is just a platform for your ego. That's basically it.
Can you tell me?
Ego.
When you say ego, do you think I enjoy being leader of the English Defence League?
You talk about threats.
I enjoy being leader of the English Defence League?
You talk about threats. Your EDL, you wrote a letter to the City Council against me saying I've got extremist links.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you said that. You wrote to Northumbria Police I've got extremist links.
No, I didn't.
Just show me. I've got the letter.
I'm writing
on top of that. Tommy,
I didn't write a letter.
Tommy, calm. On top of that, your EDL thugs have threatened me against my life and my family,
really?
Against me, against on your Twitter, on your Facebook. So have you condemned them?
Right.
Have you condemned them, Tommy?
Okay, let's take a bit from this gentleman here, please.
I'm going to chop up your kids.
Thank you very much. I think regardless of Mr. Robinson's views, I'm sure everyone in this audience can agree that we're delighted he took the opportunity to come today and show how unrepresentative and out of touch he is.
Yeah.
I'm representative and out of touch for the audience that are here, but working class people back home will be sitting watching this, and when you all sit up, when you sit there, you're from Newcastle. When you sit there, and you're not, when you sit there.
But if you're a representative, why don't you stand? Why aren't you a political party? Why don't you get elected?
Because people who oppose extremist Islam vote for Labour, vote for Lib Dems, vote for Conservative, vote for UKIP, vote for BNP. It's a mixture of people. If you all want to pretend, what the problem is, you're all going to pretend there's not an issue in this country. There's a serious issue. Islam is not integrating, it's not assimilating. Wahhabi, Salafi sects of Islam, okay, they're spreading like a wildfire. What are you doing to combat them? What are you doing to combat gentalgia?
Hang on. We condemned...
Condemned is not good enough for me, mate.
We spoke against...
But when we come on the streets, you come out...
Let me finish, Tommy. We have condemned. We've been actively working in Newcastle and in the North East, and we've got IDC behind us to do a fantastic job, actively working with different communities. What have you done to work with different communities? We are working and condemning... We are working and condemning extremism, if it's EDL or if it's the fascist or right-wing Muslim groups, we are condemning them.
What am I saying?
What have you done?
You two talk afterwards. I'm going to go to this lady here.
I was just saying, I think if you look at the country as a whole, because we're talking about whether the country is getting more racist, I don't think it is. But if you look at the cases where people are playing a role in the community, they're getting involved in society, then the vast majority of people don't care what race people are. If people are integrating and they're working together, then they cooperate. And is having protests in either direction helping anybody to promote that goal?
Well, yes, because when you're angry...
So we're going to widen this out now to the broader issue that Akala touched on. Where's Isabella? What did you want to say, Isabella?
I think that people are becoming racist because of their own social and economic problems. So they're just pointed, you know, as you were saying earlier, they're just choosing someone to blame. I'm half Polish, and I think, and it's pardon? Oh, nice. And it's I think it's offensive when people go on about Eastern Europeans are taking our jobs, and you might not think that is racist because you might not be able to tell I'm Polish, but immigration has had a major impact, and I think we need to look at the broader issues as to why people are becoming racist.
So how do we tackle these broader issues then? Yes, this lady's very keen.
I think that, personally, racism is it's more of a matter of upbringing. Just like the gentleman over there, if everyone was going to have the same frame of mind as you, then the whole country was going to be racist. People bring up the children saying that when people move into this country from different countries, they steal our jobs, they steal our money. Well, they don't, because they're trying to make the country more diverse. Can I speak? So then, it's not...
I'm not against immigration.
We're talking about the wider issues now.
Everyone's still yet to tell me why I'm an extremist and why I'm a bigot,
I'm just...
why I'm racist. Please tell me what I've said.
Okay.
This is the problem. Anyone with a different opinion...
I'm saying that it's an upbringing. It's a matter of upbringing.
I had a good upbringing. I had a great upbringing, a perfect upbringing. Prior to the English Defence League, I had my own business, 2 businesses, one turnover £300,000 a year.
Well, I don't care what your history is.
So this is not to do with people being on poverty lines. This is to do with serious issues within our community with militant Islam, extremist Islam. And as soon as you talk about it, everyone says you're racist.
I'd like to speak to this lady here, please.
You bring your agenda actually today. Well, my question is, what we say, like, can we say what the problem about what people when they see women wearing scarf? Is that something when they behave with her racism? Is that something coming about economy issue? I don't think so.
Well, I have no problem with the hijab either.
You have your agenda, you finish it. I don't know if you finish it or yeah. But I'm me from Honolulu Spring. I've been here 2 years. Nobody sit with me in the bus or near than me because I'm wearing scarf. So can you explain for me how you guys what answering for that? Well, you can answer for that. He keeping talking that they have no racism. But not Islamic for him. You have so much phobia, Islamic phobia.
You can't keep saying racist without giving me an explanation.
Listen,
please give me an explanation.
At your rally in Newcastle, you stood next to the organiser while he was chanting.
Complete lie.
Send those.
No, complete
and
lie
I can't
again.
say it home.
Complete lie again. No, it's not on YouTube. No, it's not. It's an edited version. You don't see the person on the stage saying it. It's a lie.
So who's saying it?
No one says it. You've read it. Every time someone has their arm up in the air, you say it's a Nazi salute. Please, can someone tell me what we say that is racist?
No one is saying that, by the way.
No. Can someone tell me what we say that's racist?
What you're doing is you're generalising.
We're highlighting truths.
You're generalising.
The truth is not a lie.
A whole race
no, I'm not
of people.
generalising. No, I'm not.
Just on your opinion. That's what's racist.
I mentioned certain sex.
This is exactly what I said at the beginning of the programme. When we deal with racism, rather than dealing with the structural reality and all this nonsense about people are racist because they're frustrated about their life, it's totally classist. What we're saying, only working class people are racist. Do me a favour. Racism was not invented by working class people. It was invented by elite academics rights through pseudoscientific nonsense and perpetuated as part of political policy from the top down, not the bottom up. In fact, if we look back at the history of this country, when there were slave catchers in the streets, people had far more allies in working class parts of London than they did from rich people who were trying to catch them and send them back to the Caribbean. So let's be honest about the history and deal with the bigger problems of structural racism, because then smaller things and smaller frustrations that are breeding this type of nonsense won't be excavated so much. But this is the problem, is we focus on nonsense like this rather than dealing with why a British soldier you've probably never heard of, a gentleman called Christopher Alder, died in 1999 in police custody. There is footage on YouTube that you can see for yourself of him on the floor with his bottom half exposed, with police officers around him making monkey noises over his dead body. You've never heard his name. Why?